He could have been like making a joke. It could have been like, hey, look at this on the back of the watch. Hey.
Yeah. Blancpain style.
That's a different song.
Blancpain style. Opa Blancpain style. Oh boy.
All
right.
I have been to Gangnam.
Have you?
Yeah.
Wow, look at
Back
over there
100 years ago.
When was that?
Yeah, I'm sure.
I went to Korea. It was over New Year's of 2010, maybe?
Dang.
Like New Year's 2010,
Oh,
maybe?
crap.
Yeah, my wife and I had been married for like a year or two.
Her brother
had
was
been
there, right?
Her brother's
That's right.
still there.
Yeah, right.
Her brother went there in 07 and never came home.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever been back?
Would he?
No, have you been back?
To Korea? No.
Yeah.
Catherine went a few times. But I usually stayed home.
See if we have any cloths.
He's actually coming end of the month. I have one.
Do you have another one over there? I just want to clean my lovely selections here.
Ooh, I have a new one. Freshie.
Is everybody going over there before us?
Yeah,
Probably.
Well, I mean, we're usually the last ones to get there. They pretty much usually roll out right at 6, so.
Do not disturb.
I'll turn mine on in a second.
I don't need to use my phone, which is good. Because we have comments.
Oh, Adam was
on
saying too that
the
he
screen.
figured out a way to pop it out, so when we get a second monitor, we can have this, and then we can have a chat in its own monitor.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be good, because then it can be bigger. Which, for my old eyes, would be great. When do we want...
We could just get you bigger glasses.
When... Look like bubbles from
Exactly.
Trailer Park Boys.
Oh, man. All right, do not disturb. What were we saying? When do we want to what?
Oh, I don't know. You derailed me.
I derailed you?
It's derailed.
Uh-huh. You
Derailed.
don't need any help, buddy.
Staying on topic.
You don't need any help.
Staying on topic. My New Year's resolution.
It's working
No
out well.
more tangents.
It's working out well for you. Oh boy. All right. Pretty sure I just cleaned off fingerprints and then put a whole bunch back on, but oh well.
Some watches are harder than others.
Dr. Leman joining us already. What's up?
Oh, just made a mess of these using.
So we just
This
do
cloth.
our post-mortem all together.
I guess, yeah, in person.
Can there be coffee?
Oh, there better be.
There should be donuts.
Well, we're doing it after the all-team meeting at 10:30 or whatever.
When's the last time you brought in those donuts, David?
Should I?
I drove by one of those the other day, and I thought of you.
That's cute.
Those are always remarkable, and then the ones Phil used to bring from
The holy
Portland.
donuts,
The
yeah.
holy
Those are
donut.
good.
Oh. Hold on, I can't see. Like, I legit cannot see. Two-tone cubitus. I'm not buying a cubitus.
Yes, you are. Stop
Why
lying
would I
to
buy
everybody.
a cubitus? Why does anybody think I want that?
Dude, you don't have to. This is like a charade here, pal. Like, this is a safe space. You can tell everybody what you're actually. What,
Charade?
what
That's
you.
not the right way to use that word.
Yes. Yes. What are you talking about? Do you not know what the word charade means?
Of course I do. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Ugh. I'm just making a mess here. There we go. That'll do. Brendan on, Rohit on, all of our usual suspects checking in, which I love.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Leman, we are going to introduce what we are drinking because it has a nice story today. So
It does.
we'll wait for everybody
Hence
to get
why.
on.
The glasses are empty as of yet.
I'm very sad right now.
I had to hold them back.
Yeah, Rob. Fun police over here.
That's right. Watches are serious. Serious business.
Obviously.
Obviously. Especially mine.
Yeah, so I was gonna. I didn't want.
Side here.
I didn't want to say Rob, but interesting. Interesting.
I think you will be impressed.
I can tell you right now, Rob, that I'm not going to be, but that's okay.
I think you will be
I don't
impressed.
think I'm going to be, pal.
If you're able to do that without getting in the shot, that was pretty good. That was pretty good.
I mean, I'm not impressed.
Well, of course not. You don't understand yet.
Right.
Once you understand,
I'm sure you'll explain
you'll be like,
everything to
"Oh,
me. Yes.
I
yes.
see. I see.
Mm.
You can't be surprised.
We'll see. I'm not at all.
You can't be
It's
surprised.
like all the usual suspects on your table,
These
on your
could
side
be
of the
flat.
table.
I don't know why I kept them kind of done
That's
up
an
here.
interesting pick.
I aim to please.
Well, I didn't say it was a good pick. I just said it was interesting.
Then I aim to intrigue. If you set the bar right, you'll always meet your goals.
Oh my goodness. Keep that away from me. I want like
A clear line here.
Wasn't
You're
that
as bad as my kids.
Marsha Brady or whatever? I'm gonna put a line of tape down the middle of this table. A reference for all the kids out there.
We gave the kids like a movie night, so we like put the coffee table in front of the TV so they could eat and watch the thing. And like it was like remote, box of tissues, and then like something else.
Good.
Like
You did not cross.
cross.
Yeah, good. Good. Keep that in mind. Keep your hands on your side of the table.
I don't need this pen anymore.
I'll take the pen.
It's fine. It's my pen.
What if I want to do something with it?
All right, fine.
Huh?
Taking copious notes here.
I mean,
Oh, we're
kind
actually
of, kind of
live.
my MO. No, we're not. Oh, shoot, we are. There's a
It's
delay.
time to go.
There's a
Yes.
delay.
Why are you looking at that?
Professional.
Look at the real one.
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another Horological Happy Hour. I'm Justin.
I'm Rob.
And this week, we decided to play a little game of build a collection at different price points. So we decided to pick three watch collections at $10,000, $50,000, and $100,000.
And it would be really easy if we had said that each watch is $10,000 or
That's
each watch
way
is 50.
too
Right, that
easy,
would be
way
really
too
easy. So
easy.
instead, we decided to say what three watches can you get under 10K?
Yep.
Then what three under 50, what three under 100.
Yeah, we
To make
decided.
like a balanced, nice collection.
I don't know if that applies to your selections, but yeah, we decided to challenge ourselves and see if we could keep it underneath the limits that we set. What we're gonna do is Rob and I are gonna go through and kind of walk you through our reasonings. We're gonna present our choices. We want you guys to let us know, what you think your choices would be. And then after we each go through our three picks, we are going to ask you guys to jump into the chat and to vote who did it better. So if I did it better, obviously, then, sorry, 1 second, what's up?
Albert said he wants to give a book away.
Okay. And then at the end, apparently at the end of the stream, we're gonna give a book away as well. So thank you for joining. And again, same rules as always. In order to be eligible to win the book, you need to be in the chat, and you need to say something in the chat, you need to participate, and then you need to be present at the end of the show. So there's that. Like I said, anyways, Rob and I are going to present our choices. We're going to ask you guys to vote, and then there may be some interesting.
We'll have to do some scoring.
Yes.
Some advanced level
Yes.
arithmetic, as it were.
Before we jump in, Rob, let's go ahead and make this an actual happy
Let's
hour.
make it happy. While you're getting that out, I want to remind everybody that while you are here on our wonderful YouTube page, to please like this video, hit that subscribe button, and if you hit the little bell icon next to it there, you will get notified when we are going live for the Horological Happy Hour and when other videos like the Take 5 and the Gone in 60 Seconds get posted.
So really, really nice. Our good friend, client, and he's also watches the show, Pojin. He saw last week that we kicked our bottle of Oban, so he decided to drop this off for us. So Pojin, thank you so much. This week we're drinking Oban Little Bay, single malt, small cask Scotch. So
yeah,
I'm gonna go ahead.
I'm excited. I've never had this one before.
I haven't had this. I've had a lot of different Obans, but I've never had this particular one. So I am also excited to give it a try. So. Rob, why don't you do your favorite thing and jump into the chats and see what's going on there while I'm
Well, if I do that, though, I've already won. So.
What do you mean you've already won? Oh, man. Oh, my God.
I've already won. Whoever chose the Zeitwerk, they already won.
Nah,
so
we'll see
there
about
you
that.
go.
We'll see about that.
Thank you,
Pass me your
Sepang.
glass.
I appreciate that. We have a little work event here afterwards, so decided to go with the
Rob
bold
doesn't
suit.
usually look this good. He decided to step it up for for the party, though. So, all right, Rob, why don't we jump right in
Oh.
and
cheers.
That's true. We do
Jump
need to
right
cheers.
in and cheers. Cheers to
everybody.
all of you.
Thank you for
Thank you
joining,
for
as
joining us.
always. Ooh, that's nice. Pojin, thank you very much, my friend. This
That's
is
phenomenal.
This is delicious.
Wow. That's really smooth.
All right.
How old is that?
I don't know, Rob. Why do you ask me these questions? It doesn't say. So small cask.
Huh. I was thinking it was young, but it
Were you-
doesn't. It's not like a lot of young scotches. They get like kind of too forward, too
Okay.
like sharp.
Okay.
And this is very mellow.
I mean, Oban is known for being
That's really good.
mellow, classic, beautiful. So, all right, let's jump in.
Oh, I'm ready.
Well, if
I
you're
am so
ready,
excited about
Rob
this.
Rob is champing at the bit here. So why don't you go ahead? $10,000. Build us a 3-watch collection. Walk us through your brilliance.
Okay, so before we do that, if I think about how I structure a watch collection, because there's a lot of different ways to do it, right? I have one customer, he has just about every single iteration of the Rolex Pepsi that there ever was. Like he's got everything from ground zero all the way up.
Sure.
And that's cool, because that's his thing.
Yeah.
You know, we had that one customer who owned the 40 millimeter 1815 in every single metal and dial.
Yep.
I prefer variety, and I prefer things that contrast and complement each
As do
other.
I.
Because to me, that's more exciting. So when I went about this, I went thinking like, what are like the 3 bases I'd want to cover, and how can I cover them within this budget? So
Okay.
if I'm thinking about my under 10K, my first thing that I want is kind of like an everyday banger. Something that I feel good wearing all the time when I don't know what I'm doing or what I'm going to encounter for the day. I'll throw this on and I know it'll work no matter what. I went with the Blancpain 58. And in this case, we actually had this one on this brown strap, and I like the brown strap against the gilt dial.
Huh.
I think it works in a cool way. It gives me like kind of the old school Sean Connery, James Bond vibes.
It's weird. You know what? I mean, you'll see when we get to mine as well. I love, the 58 is a great, I'm not using budget in there. There's no negative connotation to the word there, but it is a great budget watch that punches way above its price point. But I would never even consider it on the strap. And I honestly have seen this in our internal database, and I've seen photos, and like I haven't given this a second thought. But seeing it now on camera and you kind of pulling it out and putting it on your wrist, like it's much better than I thought it was.
And with the contrast stitch on the strap, it works.
Yeah.
It totally works. I like a diver on a strap. I like a speedy on a strap. So for me, I think this is really cool. I wouldn't mind. I would wear this with a suit. I think the size is appropriate enough that it does work. I mean, if Connery can wear it with a tux, then why can't
I was gonna say, man,
basically, right?
You put that on that green, black, and red NATO strap, and like that would be awesome. Actually,
Right?
I feel like why have I not seen somebody do that yet?
That's what it is too. This is your affordable James Bond watch.
Totally.
Because those, what is it, the small crown? I can never remember the reference because it's not a 5508.
No, it's not. It's the one
that.
before that. Exactly. I don't remember either.
And there, to find a nice one, you're paying a lot of money. So I think this, in terms of value, you can't beat it.
Okay.
You cannot beat this.
We're gonna
in terms of
total up
value.
numbers at the end. Why don't you
Should I do all 3?
do all 3 definitely? And as you introduce them, let's say what the price is, and then I will do some quick math at the end
So
to see how
the
you did.
Blancpain 58 is on the web for $2,950.
Okay.
Okay, so that's $2,950. So that's like a third of the budget,
Correct.
which is good.
You're on track so
Then,
far.
I'm a dress watch guy, so I need to have a dress watch.
Okay.
Each of these collections has one, and for me, it's like it's got to be something time only. It's got to be something that feels kind of slick.
Okay.
That could go with like lots of different straps because I like to kind of change up the straps.
Has
And
to be time only. Has to be time only.
it's got to be time only.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
No, for me, like, granted, I'm wearing a complicated
I was
watch
gonna
today.
say. I was like, what the hell?
But if I'm thinking about 3, I'm limiting myself to 3 because that's why I'll never get rid of the trapeze.
Yeah.
Because I have to have like a time-only dress watch, and the fact that that doesn't have seconds makes it even better for me.
Okay. The simpler, the better.
So I went with a Grand Seiko Elegance, and I actually think for the $3,950 that this is on the web for, this is tremendous. I love the size of this. I think this is like a 37 or a 38. It fits perfectly on the wrist. You get old school Dauphine hands, center sweep second, these nice faceted hour markers. You get, I don't know if you guys are getting the texture on the dial.
Wait, is there texture on that dial?
There is. It's like an eggshell kind of thing. So it's not like a glossy metallic.
Yeah.
You get a nice, you know, Grand Seiko in-house Japanese craftsmanship, manual wind movement, no weird crown guards, no strange lugs, like very traditional, very classic. You know this thing's gonna run like a champ.
I mean,
and look at that.
Be honest with me for a second here. So, if you were, I understand the appeal of Grand Seiko, and if you were not constrained by the $10,000 budget and having to pick 3 watches, would you choose this as your cheaper, you know, relatively cheaper Grand Seiko option, you know, for if you were looking for a dress watch, say, under 10K or something, like, is this what you would choose?
So,
or even, is this the Grand Seiko you would choose?
If I wasn't limited, I mean, the hard problem is, for me, the one thing that would make it absolutely perfect is if it was precious metal. Because this is a stainless steel case, which I think for a lot of people does serve, you know, a certain function and purpose, which is really nice, like in terms of everyday wear. I really like a watch like this to be precious metal.
Yeah.
And there are, there are Jaegers that you could get for like $6.
What I was thinking.
In precious metal,
exactly.
time only, that serve a very similar
You can get a Master Ultra Thin in yellow or rose gold for like 6K.
Exactly.
6 to 7K. And the only reason that I kind of like asked you that specifically about the Grand Seiko is like, and maybe this is just a me thing, but when I think of Grand Seiko, I think about their dials, and this one just doesn't jump out at me. Like, their dials are so interesting, and they have so much. They make so many interesting textures and colors, and you know the Maune Wattes and like the summer, all these different things. Lake Sua, all
the pink ones are really lovely.
Yeah,
My
exactly.
problem with that is that when you lean too much into a color, if I only have 3 watches and one of them is a color, I feel like the color stuff for me. The novelty can wear off,
well, I mean,
which is why I've
looking
never...
at your table, I got black dial, black dial, black dial, cream dial, cream dial, cream dial.
Go to the overhead. Go to the overhead here. Who has the boring side of the table? Sorry, you can't see some of this stuff, but that's kind of what you would expect. That's what you'd expect. Who has the boring side of the table?
Green dial.
I'm sorry.
Blue dial. Like,
yeah, you got colors. Wow. So does my kid.
All right. Sorry.
He's got the whole box
continue.
All right. And then, for me, I want something fun. I want something...
I think every collection, whether it's 3, 5, 10, 20 watches, you have to have something that's... Not, I mean, dumb is not the right word, but you have to have something that has really no point.
Yeah, well, something that, you know, doesn't take itself too seriously.
Correct.
Because, you know, those 2 watches are kind of like constrained and classic and all of that, which is what I want. That's what I like, because I'm a traditionalist. But then, you know, I can't let a show go by without putting a Panerai up.
Of course you can't.
So we have a very, very classic Panerai here. This is the PAM 112. This is a very classic 44mm Luminor in the standard, I can't remember what this case was called, in the standard stainless steel case we have the locking crown guard, which is very signature. A nice big pocket watchy manual wind movement. And to me, this is what Panerai is all about. Hyper legible, oversized, and like unmistakably Panerai. You know exactly what this is, and you're probably either gonna love it or hate it, you know? Which I like. I like something that's kind of like, this does not inspire apathy.
I love
this is like,
you have the same pitch for Panerai every single week. I love it so much. You've shown like 100 Panerais, and every single time you just
I'd wear that with these. I would wear that with French cuffs. I wouldn't wear it on the rubber.
A rubber strap.
I wouldn't wear it on the rubber.
Cuffs.
But I would put this on a nicer strap, and I would wear this with French cuffs to a fancy party, and I would love it. Absolutely.
P,
I should have worn mine.
Grant P, congrats. He said he recently joined the ranks of the Paneristi. His wife bought him a PAM 192 for Christmas. That's awesome.
Yes.
That's a good gift right there, man. That's
It's a good wife.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's pretty awesome.
But this to me is great. The other version of this would be like the 111, which then adds the small seconds over here instead of the 9. Both are really nice, and this to me is the best, like in terms of Panerai that you can get. This is on the web for $3,900.
Okay, and just for reference, Rob, people were asking how it looked on your wrist at 44 mil. No, they said thank you for showing, but how big is your wrist, just for reference there, roughly?
So I am 7 1/4, and I'd wear one of these. I have worn them on occasion, and I have no problem. My 45 is a little different because the radiometer doesn't have the lugs, so that actually wears a little bit smaller than the 44s. But no, I want one of these next. Next for me will be.
Wait! Is that breaking news? Next on your watch
down the road, down the road will be a 44 mil Luminor, something like this. I think a 111, but.
All right, Rob. Adam, go back to the main here. So grabbed my my handy dandy calculator. Robert, can you read back the amount of money that you spent for under $10,000?
Yes, sir.
Total.
$3,950 on the Grand Seiko.
Yes.
$2,950 on the Tudor.
Yes.
$3,900 on the Panerai.
Robert, your grand total is $10,800. That is pretty damn good.
It's close,
if I say
right?
so myself.
What's $800 between friends?
That's pretty good.
I was close.
Let me show you how you were wrong. Grant P has a 6.5-inch wrist, and the 44 Luminor fits well. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's short lugs, and it's just the geometry actually works. It's not too bad.
It's supposed to be a big watch too. Right. So like, if you're gonna get into the Panerai thing, and they do have some that are 40 now, that are very cool. They have some that are 38, which I feel like is actually too small for the brand. But I'm sure, like, you know, there are people who it fits and they're like, hey, a Panerai I can finally wear. To me, it's supposed to be a big watch. It's like if you're buying a big Pilot, like it's in the name. It should be big. It delivers on what it says it delivers.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, moving on.
I have missed a lot of comments.
It's okay, buddy.
So
I'm
going
watching.
too fast.
Yeah, we got a lot going on today. It's good. We got a lot of people joining in, so we're gonna try and make sure we hit on everything. All right.
All right.
So, similarly to what you said, you know, when I approached trying to build a collection with only 3 watches, which like in and of itself feels like a challenge to try and hit everything that we like, to give us all the flavors that we want to have, very difficult. But I also like to have something that's like a little bit of like a bang around, do anything, not worry about kind of watch. I like something that's a little bit dressier, something, you know, maybe a little fancier. You sound so emo. Rob's actually in an emo cover band. Fun fact.
I love the comment from Josh of everybody loves a Panerai for 2 weeks.
That is a great.
Not true. I've had mine for months. I love it.
And finally, similar, you know, third watch. I want something just to just be kind of wild and, you know, whatever. Like it's kind of the wild card. You know what I mean? So very similarly, I went ahead and I grabbed a Blancpain 58. I happened to grab the one on the bracelet before Rob did. Goodness. Rob got the one on the strap.
So I noticed somebody said they were like, it's better on the bracelet. Well, here you go. And there they are, side by side.
I agree with whoever said that. I mean, like I said when you showed off the strap one, the strap is better than I thought it would be, and it's not. I have never even considered the strap version of really any of the Blancpains. I really do like the Blancpain 58 bracelet, though. You know, it's that kind of faux rivet style. You know, so it kind of harkens back to those vintage rivet bracelets from, you know, the 50s and 60s that Rolex made, and I think Tudor probably made them as well. It's got a really nice flip lock bracelet, flip lock clasp. I have small wrists, so the 58 just wears really nicely. And you know, like you said, Rob, it looks like it looks like a 50s sub with, you know, gilt dial, you know, those big lume plots, you know, the red triangle up at 12, and it's a watch you don't have to worry about, you know, at a price point that if you do beat it up, like it's okay.
I also really like that it does have some different features too, though, because those snowflake hands were not a Rolex thing. That is a decidedly Tudor thing. And the diamond-shaped second hand as well. So I really appreciate the fact that while it is obviously an homage to those subs of the 50s, it also has a little bit of its own character there in a really great way.
Yeah, I think everything that can be said about the Blancpain 58 has been said. It's just a great watch for the money, punches way above its weight class, you know, has a lot of style, durable as hell, and just a really, really great wearable everyday
Not even
piece.
thinking about the money, because I mean, what was everybody's one complaint of the Blancpain when the original one came out was that it was, man, if it was only a little bit smaller.
Right.
And
that was like my first real watch was was the original Blancpain, and you know, again with smaller wrists, it's a thicker case, and just it was too big for my wrist, so I had it for a year or two, and then I traded it and moved on to something else.
I think it's a gateway drug for a lot of people.
Agreed, definitely. Yeah. All right, so the bracelet version, unlike Rob's, which was what, $29.50 or something?
Mine was $29.50.
All right, so the Blancpain 58 on the bracelet is $33.50, so a little bit more expensive, but I think that's $400 well spent.
Every dollar you go over budget works better for me anyway, so that's fine.
All right, next up, I tried to find something that was dressier, I guess, and I went ahead and because it's not a happy hour unless I talk about Cartier, I went to the safe and I found this, which honestly, like, I was pretty surprised by the price. I was surprised by how well it sat on my wrist, how much I actually liked it. The drive to Cartier is one of those models that I feel like a lot of people have kind of forgotten about. It doesn't really get much attention. We honestly don't even see that many of them anymore. Nope. We have a white gold one right now that's actually quite nice. I think we have a rose as well.
They did not make these for very long.
They didn't.
Because it is already fully discontinued.
Yes.
I was on the website looking to see what was in the current lineup because I was like, man, I haven't heard anything about the drive for a while. And it's because it doesn't exist anymore.
Which is crazy. And it just kind of, I mean, that's kind of classic Cartier where they make something and it just kind of disappears and you never hear anything about it ever again and there's like no record of it. But, I mean, so this is a steel version. So it's steel. You have a really nice guilloche dial in the center there with the Romans around. You have running seconds down at 6.
Sorry, what kind of dial?
Yeah, sorry, Rob. I'll let you pronounce it properly. And then date at 3 o'clock with blued steel hands. So, you know, and then you get that cabochon set crown, that octagonal crown with that blue cabochon. So like all of like those classic Cartier design cues in a very interesting, you know, non-round shaped case.
And what a great watch, like with a tux or a suit. Those classic Roman numerals, blued hands like that. Like, it just, that really works. And I remember when this came out, I was like, man, I mean, it's kind of like Cartier and Panerai got together and did a thing.
Oh
and
my God.
so.
No, it's not.
It is. It's a cushion case.
Not everything goes back to Panerai, buddy.
Well, it does today.
Yes. But it's also very thin. It wears really nicely. For a larger case, it's a little bit big for me. Let me take off my tiny Cartier. But yeah, guilloche, exactly. Thank you, Johnny. You know what?
Even people I don't recognize are giving me the guilloche bit. It's so funny.
I want people to go up to Rob on the street and say guilloche, please. So you know, I have a smaller. I'm like a 6.5-inch wrist, and it fits just fine. Like
it does.
It's not too
overhang.
big. It's so thin.
Lugs are short.
Lugs are super short. It's an automatic. You get a display back. Like
really?
This is a lot of watch.
Show that off.
This is a lot of watch for $49.50. So yes, I blew almost half my budget on a Cartier.
Yeah, username checks out.
But look at that. Like this is a great watch.
That is good. I would change this deploy. That's the only thing I would do is the deploy. For me, I just can't ever get these to fit right.
No, me neither.
But other than that,
I mean, case in point, both of my Cartiers, I bought them and they were on deploys, and I immediately put them on tanks because I can't stand the Cartier deploy. But Gil Emoche. Golf clap for Mr. Paradigm. Love it. All right, we got to keep moving because we're already 20 minutes in. But my final choice for my 3 watches, that's not it, under 10K. I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't add up. I went ahead and just grabbed an IWC Mark 18. So it's a little bit of the same note as the Tudor. It kind of scratches the same, you know, the same itch, a little bit of like a, you know, durable kind of do anything watch. But the Mark 18 Petite Prince has just a little bit more. It's got, you know, that nice blue dial. Again, it's very easy to wear. It's a little dressier than the Tudor, I would say. You know, if I wanted to, I could wear that with a suit and it wouldn't be crazy.
I was actually looking for this watch.
Of course you were.
When you pulled your watches before me, and I went looking because I wanted to pick this watch as well, which should tell you that this is like a double pick here. But my first thought when I was putting my cheap collection together was that I wanted to have an IWC Pilot because it's one of the watches I liked from the very beginning.
Yeah.
And I still like them.
Yeah. Great watch, wears beautifully, it's the right size, simple, straightforward. Obviously, it's a Pilot, so you have a super legible dial. It's just a great watch. Yeah. Really, really nice piece. So that's my third pick. That comes in at $3,900. So when I do the math,
I agree with Ruggiero that that's exactly what it is. It's like it's a watch that you could wear like when you're hiking or something like that. It would look in place. It would look in place going out to eat, or even like you put it on. You know, you change the strap, you make it a little more high end, and you can wear it, you know, with a suit, whatever, and I think still looks good.
Both the Mark 18 and the Blancpain are, if you could only have one watch, perfect. They do it all. So. Anyways, for my sub 10K 3-watch collection, I spent $12,200. So Rob beat me there. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, let us know in the comments. Just throw a Justin or a Rob. Let us know who did it better. We will tally things up. We'll have the producers tally things up as we go.
Do the overhead real quick, just in case anybody wasn't here. So my 3 to create a collection under 10K is the Panerai 112, Blancpain 58, and I actually, you know what, I'm going to go full in and say I prefer the strap, so I picked it on the strap. It wasn't just a money thing. And the Grand Seiko Elegance 231, which is really nice. And your 3 were?
I went IWC Mark 18 Petite Prince, IWC Mark 18 Petite Prince. I went Cartier Drive to Cartier in steel. Great pick.
I would have picked that
and
too.
I also went with the Blancpain 58 on the bracelet. So let us know in the chat who did better, and we will count up and we'll do some scoring at the end. Scott says, "How about a Studio Underdog for that number 3 fun watch?" Yes, I own one. Rob did own one. Studio Underdogs are great, and like for the money, again, it's just a lot of fun.
While we wait for some of those to come in, I want to remind everybody that we are giving away a book again on the stream. Everybody in the comments is entered to win. So if you are participating in the comments, you are entered to win a copy of our Asoline coffee table book.
All right. Next up, we have the $50,000 category. So 3 watches under 50 grand. I'm gonna go ahead.
Things start to open up here.
They do. It's honestly, it didn't really get any easier for me. I'm not gonna lie, but
how bougie.
I like spending money, Rob. I'm sorry.
How bougie.
I'm sorry.
I'm not used to that with your trust funds.
That trust fund's not gonna spend itself. Loose tooth, I beat you to it, buddy. All right. So. Same idea. I went ahead and started with this beautiful JLC Reverso tribute, and this is obviously in green. So you get the gorgeous green dial, you get a green Casafagliano strap, and this is just the right size Reverso. It's the right thickness because it's just a mono face. I don't know, I love the green. It's got a really kind of interesting, unique tone to it, and the sunray is beautiful. And really, we've said it a million times, but like every watch collector needs to have a Reverso in their collection at some point in their life. I still haven't had one. I haven't found the right one yet, but this is just such a great piece. I love this watch.
I take back everything I just said about colors being a novelty. Every time I have one of these in my hands and I put it on my wrist, I find myself missing my Reverso. The first time I saw a Reverso, which was the first time I walked into European Watch Company, Tony showed me a Reverso, and he did the flip with that, and it was a duo face, so it had another face on the back, and that was it. My mind was blown. I was like, this is the greatest thing I have ever seen. And to this day, I remain smitten. I think actually my next one would be a mono face like this.
Yeah, I mean,
I think there's something cool about it being completely blank and just wearing it this way and having people going, "What's up with your watch?"
You know what though? Like I don't know. when I think of a Reverso, I love the duo faces. There's so many interesting different, like the Chrono now is incredible.
Yeah.
But when I think of a Reverso, I want simplicity. I want, I really want that classic kind of design. So I think the monoface is the way to go. I might even consider doing, putting an engraving on mine just to make it really mine and make it so I couldn't sell it.
Yeah.
But we just lost the overhead, guys. But that's my first pick. That is $8,500 on the web right now, which is, I mean, come on, that's a ton of watch, a ton of style for $8,500.
Yeah, and those Casafagliano straps are super duper nice and not cheap if you were to buy one after the fact. So like there's a good bit of value there. And I think, if you're thinking about a watch that also could be really versatile in terms of like it could be dressed up really easy, it can be dressed down really easily, like you can't go wrong.
No, and this, if you thought that the green, I know you took back what you said, but if the green was too much, put this on a black strap, put this on even like a taupe strap like you have over there. Like you could dial it down, and it really would be a very different watch. So what are you laughing at?
Monofaces are just tanks with fidget spinners. Can you throw the stream back up?
That's
or
pretty good. That's pretty good.
The contents there. Somebody was actually happy to see Justin.
Whoa.
Yeah, FR. Nice. I wanted to point that out.
It's good to be back. Good to be back. All right. My second choice is I love this. For more of a, I went a little bit, kind of on the dressier side for the Reverso, more classic, and then this is kind of my more bang around steel, wear all the time kind of watch. So I went ahead and grabbed the Aqualung, the Blancpain Aqualung Chrono on the bracelet.
No, this is
that's a Leman. Sorry, Leman Chrono on the bracelet. And if you're looking for a steel sport watch that isn't a sub, it isn't a Rolex, it's something a little bit left of center, like look at Blancpain. They make absolutely incredible pieces. This, I always go back and forth whether I prefer this on the bracelet or on the strap. The bracelet version just kind of happened to fit better with what we were doing, in this 3-watch collection game. But these are just such interesting pieces. It's lower production. We've said it many times that like you're not often going to see a Blancpain with more than a 3-digit serial number. They just don't make a ton of watches, and especially kind of from this era.
I'm getting a real glitchy feed here. I don't know if you're seeing that on the actual one or if it's just my monitor, but we might need to reset this camera because it is very slow.
Okay.
This, I love that you picked this because I fell in love with these on the internet before I worked here. I remember seeing these and thinking like, man, that's a nice looking chronograph.
Yeah.
And working here and getting to handle them and wear them, I like them even more. I love that it's 38 mil.
Yep.
You could keep the bracelet.
Yeah,
I wouldn't do the bracelet.
The bracelet is a little.
I really like it.
It's not
Put
as.
that on your wrist.
Yeah, it's not as elegant as say. I gotta just keep my watch off. It's not as elegant as say like a an oyster bracelet or whatnot. Rolex has perfected that, but
it's tougher though.
It's tough. Well,
that 21.8.
It's beefier, man.
No, X71 is the bracelet. That X71 bracelet is a tank.
It is. I mean, and honestly, like, look at this. It fits perfectly.
Yeah.
It's a great piece. It's just a little different. It's a little bit unusual. It's still got tons of style and tons of watch guy cred. So this is a really, really great piece. This one clocks in at $15,900. So again, a lot of watch for the money. And if you're looking for something that's just a little bit different, look at Blancpain.
And it's cool too because it's like, what was the price on that?
$15,900.
15?
That's what my notes say. I could be totally wrong, but that's what I found. I'm not trying to cheat, Rob, I promise.
That seems, okay. Interesting. All right, next.
Next up, finally, I went dress. I went Vacheron Patrimony Perpetual. So vintage, a little more vintage. This is what, 90s, early 2000s?
This has got to be 90s. I think this is 90s.
I'll look it up in a minute. But again, I wanted to go dressier. I love all of these kind of like late, around this time, the late 90s, early 2000s, there were multiple brands that were making very similar perpetual calendars. Vacheron had the Patrimony Perpetual. AP had the, what was it, the 2448. Piaget made one. You know, they're all obviously all different, but they all had a similar kind of look and vibe to them, kind of all throughout the 90s. So these are just, this era of Vacheron is kind of overlooked and I think undervalued. You know, case in point, this is listed for $29.9 right now.
Wow.
You can get a precious metal perpetual calendar from one of the, you know, a Holy Trinity watchmaker for under $30,000.
Look at how thin that is.
Yeah, it's got, again, it's got so much style. It's super legible. It wears really, really beautifully. I don't even know what to say about this. Like, I don't think you can go wrong with this thing. It's really, really sharp.
You know what's funny is somebody said that, I was saying that this era of Vacheron, like watches like this, the teardrop lug chrono, the 47101, like all of this stuff to me is so cool. And somebody was like, yeah, it was when Vacheron was looking at all the stuff they made back in the 40s and the 50s.
Totally, yeah.
And I was like, you know, maybe that's it. Maybe it's that look back, that like 40-year look back that's always happening. Because like right now, what's really big? Everything from the 70s and the 80s, right? And it's like, we're always looking back that 40 years or something. And so this stuff, when they were looking back at this stuff from like the late 40s into the 50s, is really like, I love that it's on a tang buckle, like a simple, unobtrusive tang, not
but
that
this doesn't look like
Maltese cross.
It doesn't look like, say, you know, like the newer Corne de Vaches that look like more of a reissue of a vintage piece. This, you look at that watch and it very clearly is from the 80s or the 90s. The aesthetic is very much like greed is good, you know, late 80s, early 90s kind of thing. So
Breguet from this era too.
Exactly,
right?
exactly,
like the Breguet Perpetuals from this era. We just listed a nice platinum one. There's so much here that I love. I really support this. Oh, this is your best choice.
Brendan Cunningham asking how hard is it to set? It's not easy. It's not easy.
It has pushers though.
It does have pushers. You do have to be careful. These are on the more delicate side, but that's okay. So $29.9 for that. Grand total for my 3 watches at $50,000 at the $50,000 price point is $54,300. Not too shabby, if you ask.
Not bad. But you know, could have been tighter.
Let's see how you do. Let's see how you do.
See how I do.
Let's go.
All right. I'm going to move quick because I want to get to the big guns.
Yeah.
So, first up, my dress watch. I actually was inspired by Justin.
Look at you.
And went with this incredible Cartier Santos. This is one of the modern Santos Dumont limited editions. I cannot pronounce this, and I'm not going to try because I cannot take any more heat for the way that I pronounce things on this television program.
I don't even know how to pronounce this one.
But regardless, we have a stunning rose gold case. We have a beautiful silver dial. We have the cabochon crown. Look how thin that is. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I think, and you know, one of the things I said was like, I want to be able to have good strap changeability. This has this lovely little lever bar, strap pops right out. You could have a ton of different colors because you change the color and you completely change the watch.
Yeah, honestly, I think, I actually, I mean, shocker, I love this Cartier too. Classic yellow gold Romans. I would definitely put it on a different color strap. I might even go a different material completely as opposed to alligator.
Yeah.
But like it looks sharp as hell just the way it is.
And it's the right size, it's the right proportion. Again, this is that tuxedo watch, no seconds. I love it. I absolutely adore it.
I think Cartier knows that they've very much hit on something with this new line of Santos Dumonts because there are like 20.
Look how good that
I know. Look at this. There are like 20 different variants of this right now. We talked about one last week, that rose gold with the teal.
Yeah.
There's so many different.
That sold the day after the stream.
Look at
Somebody
you.
was like,
Look at you.
we need that watch, and it's gone.
But really, they've hit on something really special here. The proportions, you know, the different textures, all the different materials. They're doing really, really nice stuff with these right now.
It's the right size.
Yep.
That when they were doing the Santos XL, I understand why they did it.
Sure.
But for me, when you get that far away from something as classic and as good as the world's very first wristwatch, according to Cartier, I think you do it a disservice. And the fact that they brought these back, like if you want to make the XL as well, that's fine. But like that to me is killer.
Price point?
And that is $18,000.
Whoa. Rob's going big for his first watch. All right.
$18K.
Okay. All right. Let's see how you do.
Then we have the everyday banger. And I went with, actually, another one of those.
A little interesting here.
Another one of those watches that I have always liked. And this was, at one point, you know, I think everybody goes through that thing where, like, they kind of want a sub, but they're like, man, everybody has a sub.
Yeah.
And so, like, I want a sub, but I don't want a sub.
But guess what? Everybody circles back around and comes back to Rolex.
You could get a Sea Dweller. And then basically you have a sub, but you also don't have a sub.
That might be the nerdiest thing you've ever said, but continue. Sorry.
Dude, that's a high bar. I love that there's no Cyclops on this. I think it's just, it looks a little slicker with that flat sapphire crystal. I've always liked the older 5-digit references better.
Me too.
I just, it fits my wrist and my style better. I don't, you know, the bracelet is definitely not as good from an objective
quote unquote
standpoint.
good. But it's
very comfortable.
In my opinion, it's better.
And it's solid as a rock. I mean, but you can't beat a glide lock.
You're right.
Right.
Yeah, but
Look at
honestly,
that.
Rob,
There you go.
how many times are you actually fiddling with the sizing of your watch? Like, it's kind of like one of those, I can't remember who said it, I think it was like Colin Chapman or something, but saying that if you gave people too many choices, they would do it wrong. Like, just, this is perfect, where there's just a couple settings, you get it right for your wrist, and then you leave it. Like, your wrist isn't going to swell that much in the summertime.
But I do go back and forth between the summer and the winter. I'll have like 2 holes in my Explorer that I go back and forth between.
Really?
Well, like a big one and a small one.
Okay.
Like back and forth between the 2 holes, not like that.
I was like
2 holes of adjustment.
Yeah, drink some water, man.
Hydrate. But to me, this is what I think of when I think of like a Rolex sub, is like this era. And I think it's because this is when I first got into watches and I was looking at a lot of stuff online before I could, you know, afford any of these things. And so this would be like my everyday, go anywhere, do anything watch, Sea Dweller.
Price point?
Reference 16610, full set, priced at $9,900.
Wow.
I think that's great,
that's
right?
That's a good buy.
That's great.
Full set.
Nice condition. Full set.
Nice.
Box papers.
Cool.
Then, the fun watch.
Oh, boy.
Yes, sir. My fun watch is the Ulysse Nardin Freak X in carbon. So we have a carbon case. We have the Ulysse Nardin Freak architecture, which puts the balance wheel on the front of the watch so that you can watch it, and it's constantly moving all day because it's always moving around that dial. So it's not like a 60-second tourbillon, but it is in constant movement.
What time is it, though?
So look, it's very easy. Your hour hand is this guy down here. That's your minute hand. That's 6:15.
All right.
Once again, a watch is an art piece to me. I don't need it to be super legible. So there's your 1010. Look at that, man. That's cool. It's a better size than the like giant old school Freaks.
It is.
It's a more accessible price point, which I really like, and it's bananas. But look, it works. It works. Pinstripes, French cuffs, Freak X in carbon.
It doesn't work.
It works.
No, it does not. You cannot wear that with cufflinks, man.
Josh agrees with you, but I don't care. Yes. Freak X.
All right, price point.
I loved when this came out. I thought it was super cool.
It's innovative and it's interesting, and I'm glad that Ulysse Nardin has something, but like, yikes.
$21,500.
I actually think that I should punish you for not spending the full amount there.
$49,400.
I think actually I should get more points for actually spending more than I had, and you should lose points for not going to the full.
The Trust Fund Award goes to Justin.
All right, so Rob's.
You know what else though? I have to tell you, I did not add this up. I went to the safe. I like looked at the price points. I was like, I want 220s.
I don't believe that for a second.
I'm dead serious. I didn't add it up till I sat down and did it before the show.
Sure. Well, yeah, okay. All right, Rob, quick recap of what you picked, and then I'll quickly recap mine, and we will vote to see who won.
Give us, Dr. Giggles, who gets extra points for that wonderful name, doesn't like dial side balance wheels. I could show you a bunch that I think would change your mind. The rest goes to the 401k. All right, my mid-tier 3-watch collection includes the Rolex Sea Dweller aluminum bezel 16600, the Freak X in carbon, and the Santos Dumont La Barracuda, La Bernadette, something like that.
Stop trying. Please stop
La
trying.
Boheme.
Please stop trying.
It's lovely. Whatever it's called, it is fantastic.
All right, my quick 3 picks for the mid-tier, under 50,000-ish. JLC Reverso Tribute in green. I have got Blancpain Leman Chrono on a bracelet. And finally, the VC Patrimony Perpetual Calendar in yellow gold. Go ahead and jump in the chat. Let us know who you think won that round. And we will move on to the main attraction, the $100,000 3-watch collection. Robert, it is your turn to start. Alexandra, you're in the room. You can't vote for Rob. What the heck?
Yes.
All right, Rob.
Yes.
Your turn. Your turn.
Look at that. AP Kasparov over the Freak X. So I do like the Kasparov too, but I wouldn't, to me, if I only had 3 watches, Kasparov and Sea Dweller in the same collection would be like,
I don't want to go off on a tangent, but you're saying that you would pick the Freak X over a Kasparov? Don't even answer that. Just
yeah, I would. I would actually.
I think that just disqualifies you.
I want to do
completely.
it just for your blood pressure.
Oh my God.
I want to do it just for the sake of your blood pressure.
Go on.
All right.
Go on. We got 15 minutes to wrap it up here.
I got 50K. So
no, you have 100K.
I got 100K. Thanks.
Yikes.
I got 100K. My dress watch. I'm going big.
You are going.
I'm going big.
Big.
I'm going Lange Zeitwerk in rose gold. The Zeitwerk is such a cool watch because there is nothing else like this on the market, right? This is one of a kind in its display, in its construction, in the way they work the movement. I can get really, really nerdy on this watch because I think this thing is a work of art from beginning to end.
I even love the history of this watch, the story, the inspiration for this, the way it ties into the founding of the Lange brand. Like, there are so many different angles you can approach this watch from and ways to appreciate the Zeitwerk.
Yeah.
I will say that you picked the wrong metal, but that's okay. I love the Zeitwerk.
You know what? I was about to say, a lot of people think that the rose gold is not the one, right?
It's not.
And if you ask me what's the Zeitwerk, I would say it's white gold with the black dial. That is the iconic. But if I was actually going to own one, I'd rather own this. I think this is so handsome. And I think you put this on kind of this color, like I have on my 3940, you put this on a nubuck like that, and it would be a super cool kind of casual all the time watch. You put it on this, it's dressy. You put it on black, it's tuxedo. This is my time-only dress watch, baby. Bang. Mission completed.
That's
and somebody's like, oh, cool watch. You hand it to them, they turn it over, and it's like, oh, wait, my mind just got blown a second time. Come on. Come on.
I've said it on the stream before. I really, really want a jump hour.
Jump everything.
I know.
Everything.
I would love. Unfortunately, I could never. I love the Zeitwerk, but I would just never own because it's just it would overwhelm my wrist, unfortunately. But I really want a jump hour or jumping minute or both, whatever, next to my collection. I'd love to find some way to add that.
I love it. So that is currently under agreement, so I can't buy it. But if I could, it would be $55,900.
That is a ton of watch for the money, honestly.
Then, my everyday banger, we go here.
Oh my God, this... I don't like this category for you at all.
It is so balanced. It probably upsets your.
This does upset me.
Your sensibilities. But
Rob is the guy driving a Rolls Royce wearing a Timex right now.
Dude,
this is absurd.
So 5 days a week, I'm wearing the Zeitwerk to work, like a boss, right? Pinstripes, cufflinks, Zeitwerk. On the weekends, Speedmaster.
Okay.
Sapphire crystal. Don't have to worry about scratching it up. I can turn it over and put it next to the Zeitwerk and enjoy all the bits that you see with a manually wound chronograph.
This is a good Speedmaster.
Really good, right? You get the new bracelet, which is super comfortable. It tapers beautifully. You get the clasp with some adjustment in it, and it is $6,250.
Huh.
Look at that. For the watch that went to the moon.
Oh my. Wow, Rob, I've never heard that before. Omega hasn't beaten that into my brain.
But there you go. It even works with the suit.
It does.
I want a Speedmaster. I'm jonesing a Speedmaster.
Have you never had one?
Real bad.
Why do I feel like every week we bring up Speedmasters and we have to rehash the fact that I traded away the best Speedmaster of all time.
We did. I don't want to trigger you.
But have you never had one?
I've never had one.
Okay, you should have one.
I will one day. Then something fun, because the Zeitwerk is fun. This is funner.
This is funner.
This is funner.
Okay, Gil.
This also sadly not currently available, as this is also sold, but I had to pick it anyway. This is an Urwerk UR100 SpaceTime. This is the gunmetal edition. I've also had a real Urwerk thing going on recently. I love the fact that it is an unconventional way of telling the time, but it's not like huge. It's not so wild that it becomes more of a commitment to wear. Like there are some MB&F pieces that I think are absolute incredible masterpieces, but I don't think I could ever actually wear it. I'd wear this. And once again, I'd wear this like this and like contrast like a classic suit kind of thing with like this hyper modern wild watch with all this like whatever the crazy space-time indications are and all that.
I hate to say it, but this is actually the one that like I could see wearing with a suit. It's so ridiculous. Like the Panerai, get the hell out of here. You're not wearing that with a suit. You need to shut up.
I do it. Which moon was
the Ulysse Nardin, get out of here. You're not wearing that with a suit or a tux. But like this is so like completely crazy that it actually kind of works.
Yeah.
And it's
put this on your wrist.
Well, it's a little bit too big for me, the strap itself, but like it actually
No,
it works.
Tis fine.
Tis, huh?
Tis.
Rob had half a scotch and he's Shakespeare all of a sudden. But it's cool. I mean,
was half, and I have a problem with the bartender here.
I don't need to know like how far Earth is from Mars on January 15th at 4:30 p.m. or whatever, but
everything on this table is unnecessary.
I know.
Your argument is moot.
I know.
Are you ready for this? I blew myself away with this.
Okay.
That watch, when it was available,
yes,
was $37,300.
I want to disqualify you for picking two watches that actually aren't available right now. But
hold on.
Once
I think
again,
you did that wrong.
No, I
didn't.
Do it
again. Do it again. Do it again.
Do it again. Oh my God.
6,250.
Yes.
55,900.
Yes.
37,300.
Same number, buddy.
No, that's it.
All right. Once again, Rob did not spend his full allotment of cash, so I think he should be disqualified, maybe, or at least penalized.
Tell them the number.
Rob spent $99,450.
What was the challenge? What?
I would say
was the challenge.
I would say that shows a lack of imagination. Let me tell you what the perfect three-watch collection at the $100,000-ish price point is. So
Justin has gone 20% over.
Yeah.
By saying that.
No, not quite. All right. Anyways, so again, tried to kind of. It's actually interesting at $100,000. I feel like I have less variety in my choices than I did in some of my other pairings, but I feel like gotta go ahead and start.
Did I not show you variety?
Shut up.
Did I not show you variety?
Gotta go ahead and start with a Patek.
I love this.
5066 Aquanaut. I love older reference Aquanauts. So this, I want to say, is 98 or something like that.
Yeah. Because this was still red box. And
correct.
Old
yes,
papers
it was the old school Patek. So obviously quite different from your 5167s and your modern Aquanauts. Much smaller. You have that straight the straight end on the rubber strap as opposed to the fitted strap that now fits on the new ones. These obviously still had tritium lume, so you have like some really, this one actually has beautiful creamy, fade on it. And
this aged in a really nice way.
Absolutely awesome. It's the perfect size. I don't care what size your wrist is. This is so great. If I had one of these, which I kind of want to, I would wear this all the time. I would beat the ever-living hell out of it. I've told the story many times about like being on vacation and seeing a bunch of like old Italian men like walking around with their Aquanauts, like their old tiny Aquanauts on, and then being like beat to within an inch of their life, and they look so cool.
It's a vibe.
It is.
Like the small Aquanaut thing to me is a vibe.
Yeah.
It's just like the whole small Cartier thing, like where guys are wearing like the old school vintage Santos Dumonts.
But these aren't like minuscule small.
They're not, but it's still, it feels compared to a modern one, especially like the white gold and the Chrono,
oh my God,
right? They're
68s
big.
and things, yeah.
So this feels like a vintage watch, which I really, really like.
Scott Tarlow, the 5066 Japan edition with that blue dial. If you find one with the blue dial and the creamy lume like this, like, perfect, perfect. Yeah, Kicks RX, I love it.
I'll take it.
Rob does have a lot of Cousin Eddie in him, actually.
You're not that far off.
So there you go, first choice.
And how much is that?
5066 is $33,500.
I was gonna say they've been hanging out right around 30K.
Yeah, I mean, and again, like to get a Patek sport watch, this is an interesting one. You know, we've said it a million times, but like watches from that era, that kind of like, you know, really late 80s up through around like the early 2000s are kind of the sweet spot for us. I just think it's, like you said, it's when we first kind of got interested in watches and started noticing things. So, yeah, I mean, exactly right.
My newest watch is the Panerai. That's like a 21 or 22. Everything else is at least
all my stuff is
15 years old.
Yeah. All right, next up.
Whoa,
Come on.
Bring in the heat.
Come on. Like,
Bring
how
in
can
the
you not?
heat.
We're in the
That's
$100,000.
really good. That's really good.
So I went ahead and grabbed a yellow gold Daytona. This is a 16528. Again, you know, watches from the early 2000s, late 90s. This is where it's at. This is, like, I don't know why you would choose to buy a modern gold Rolex when you could buy something like this at the same or actually a lower price point. So this is, you know, a 16528, full yellow gold bracelet, champagne dial, and then you have those black surrounds. So it's got a little bit of like a JPS, you know what I mean? A JPS Daytona vibe to it.
I was actually thinking this is like I see your president and I raise you.
This is way
right?
better.
This is like I see your classic like LBJ Champagne president, but I'll do one better and make it the old school Zenith Daytona because it's that yellow with the champagne kind of thing, but it just like adds a little bit more of that like zhuzh to it.
And I know that, you know, the Daytona, you know, to the wider watch world, it can seem to be kind of played out and like, you know, oh my God, everybody has to have a Daytona, you know, the Daytona, the Royal Oak, and the Nautilus, the most popular things ever. But like, come on, look at this. The Daytona is, yeah, it's so good. It's got so much history. It's got so much vibe. Like this one is just special too. It's got so much character.
This to me is a very different watch than like a steel ceramic Daytona.
That's what I'm saying.
They're not even in the same category for me.
100%.
I've never really lusted for a ceramic Daytona. It just doesn't, I don't feel it. I don't know. For me, it's like, I either feel it or I don't. I feel this.
Totally.
I have to admit, I kind of want your collection right now.
Right?
I kind of want your collection too.
Price point, listed right now for $38,300. So that's a lot. Like again, I don't know why you would choose to spend $40K on a modern gold Daytona when this is available. It's just perfect.
There's no reason.
And this one is actually also in really nice condition, like very original, nice bracelet, tight, super, super nice piece. And then to finish things off, round it out, of course, had to go with something dressy, had to go with something Cartier, and I grabbed the Cartier Tank Cintre in platinum.
Yeah.
What are you making? Are you making faces because you think that, of course, I made the perfect decision, or are you disagreeing with me right now?
All the Cartiers in the store.
Do you not like this?
This to me,
Go on.
This to me loses the vibiness that I want from a Cartier. This doesn't have, like, I don't know. There's such a difference, and obviously we're two different price points here, but like, I put these two next to each other, and there's no contest for me. I am taking this all day long.
Dude,
even if you told me I could have the platinum for the same
Wrong.
price as this, I want this watch.
No.
There's something about this that it's just, if it was the yellow gold one, I'd be like, yes.
Well, so one thing that I was going to say when I was picking was that if we had the 100th anniversary tanks and tray,
yes,
that I would absolutely have chosen
Yes.
that one. And I actually do appreciate that. What? That's going to be his. Yeah. I appreciate the yellow gold version over this updated platinum version.
Yeah.
But I love this watch. And it's
It
interesting.
is very slick.
So for me, the modern privé stuff on the whole has kind of, it's fallen a little bit flat for me. I love that Cartier is doing it. I love that they're bringing back these absolutely iconic models from their back catalog. But in general, most of the pieces for me have been a little bit oversized, and they've lost a little bit of the elegance that I think the originals have. This one, it didn't lose anything. This is absolutely stunning. Again, it's a platinum tanks and tray, platinum, svelte, incredible, curved. You have that curved crystal, curved case, it just forms to your wrist. You have a ruby cabochon, it's amazing.
Okay. We are actually out of time, so we're gonna have to blow through the book.
We're good. We're going to a party. It's fine.
We have to tally up who's won.
So my final watch was unfortunately $42,800. So I spent $114,600 when it came to our $100,000 three-watch collection. I will.
So I spent less and got better watches.
I will repeat the fact that Robert has a lack of imagination, and that is why he did not spend the amount of money that he was allowed to spend. So
I mean, for you, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
the Tortue, does it fit your wrist well? The new Tortue, no, it doesn't. The original Tortue, so the older ones, they fit beautifully, and that's kind of what I was saying about the Privé, the new Privé stuff. They're just a little bit too big in my opinion. So I would always go for the original if I had a choice.
Okay, overhead real fast. My 100K watch collection, which actually costs 100K, is the Urwerk UR100 gunmetal, the original Lange Zeitwerk in rose gold with a silver dial, and then a Speedmaster professional sapphire sandwich man on the moon.
My choices, and I see all of your comments about me blowing the budget. Hey, I am just an excellent negotiator, and I would have gotten these 3 watches for $100,000. I will have you all know. So anyways, my 3 choices: Cartier, Platinum Tanks and Tray, Rolex, Daytona 16528, yellow gold, and the 5066 Aquanaut. Go ahead and throw it in the chat. Let us know who you think won. While you guys are doing that, David, did you go ahead and create a little wheel to give away a book? Excellent.
Our wheel is ready. So just, again, to show you guys. I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Put them on there.
Doesn't matter. So this is another giveaway for one of our 300-page Assouline coffee table books with 300 pages of the most incredible watch photography you have ever seen. What will I open up to? That's not bad.
I love that one.
That's all right. That blows the budget for both of us for everything.
RM67.
So there we are. 6702 TPT. All right, let's get that wheel. Let's
David,
spin it.
Bring it right over to the camera, and we'll go ahead and make it happen. Okay, we're adding the last person to the wheel.
Did anybody keep track of who's voted for who?
Are you? Good.
All right, good. You're either going to be intern Adam or producer Adam, depending upon how you find the results. I'm not asking you to do anything unethical. That has shut off, so give us the click. I'll take your phone.
All right, here we go. We're going to spin the wheel. We're going to give away a copy of the Assouline book. Robert,
we got a lot of people on here today. All right. Look at a lot of people feeling like the over budget was the bad move.
Yeah, but you know what? Hey, we did not set that rule at the beginning. It was a guideline.
They're more of just guidelines.
They are guidelines. That's how I live my life, buddy.
All right, the winner of the Assouline coffee table book is
John Festa. Nice. I believe John Festa was the gentleman who said that he was glad that I was back. So there we go.
Was he?
JF, yeah.
Nice.
All right, so Mr. Festa, go ahead. Robert, actually, how did you do this previously? I was not here.
Send me an email to robert@europeanwatch.com, and we'll talk to you, and we will get your book going out to you probably tomorrow.
We have got to jet because we are heading off to the...
Hold on.
What?
Hold on. Adam, who's our winner?
So 10K, we got a 1 vote difference for Rob.
So give me the numbers.
We got 6 and 7.
Damn it.
6 to 7.
All right. Robert wins the $10,000 round.
Justin, though, you better be excited.
What's up?
Because 50K is a sweep.
Yeah?
It was 6 to 4.
Oh!
Really?
What's up?
No.
All right. So 1 to 1 right now. 1 to 1.
Watch Reporter is right. It's rigged.
Adam, for the $100,000 3-watch collection.
Less votes because people were excited.
That's fine. That's fine. What are the totals? Don't even tell me who. Give me the totals first.
We got 3 and 4.
Okay. And who won?
Rob.
No, I don't believe that for a second. I want to recount right now.
No recounts. Plus, I didn't go over budget, so I think I won on all, except for the $800.
You lost a couple votes for being over.
I went 800 over.
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do my own investigation. I'll get back to you guys next week with who actually won. But thank you guys, as always, for joining us. This is so much fun. It's always fun when you guys are participating and when you tell us what you think, which I'm glad you guys don't hold back.
Please like and subscribe.
Yeah, follow the EWC YouTube channel, like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and we look forward to seeing you all again soon.
See you next time.